The Karolinska University Hospital stood as a beacon of hope, a towering symbol of medical excellence and innovation, a symbol of Sweden's unwavering commitment to healthcare excellence. It represented the nation's dedication to the well-being of its people. Established in 1810, the hospital earned a global reputation over the centuries. It became a cornerstone of medical advancement and a testament to Sweden's rich history in healthcare. Renowned for its pioneering research and cutting-edge treatments, Karolinska was at the forefront of medical science. Its laboratories buzzed with the energy of discovery, and its wards were filled with hope. Its mission was simple, yet profound: to provide the best possible care for its patients. Every doctor, nurse, and staff member was dedicated to this noble cause. In the early 21st century, the hospital embarked on an ambitious project: the construction of a new state-of-the-art facility. This was not just a building, it was a vision for the future of healthcare. This new building was designed to be a masterpiece of modern medicine, equipped with the latest technology and designed to foster innovation and healing. It promised to attract the world's brightest minds, creating a hub of knowledge and expertise that would push the boundaries of what was possible in medicine. The goal was clear: to solidify Karolinska's position as a leader in the global healthcare arena. Excitement filled the air as the community rallied behind this monumental project. The new hospital was a symbol of progress and innovation, a beacon of hope for patients and a testament to human ingenuity. It represented Sweden's dedication to the well-being of its citizens, a promise of better healthcare for all. The project enjoyed widespread support from the public, who enthusiastically anticipated the benefits it would bring. The public eagerly awaited the opening of this beacon of medical advancement. The ribbon-cutting ceremony was a moment of triumph, a celebration of what had been achieved. Little did they know, a storm was brewing. Behind the scenes, not everything was as perfect as it seemed. Behind the gleaming facade of progress, something sinister was taking root. Shadows lurked in the corridors, and whispers of discontent began to spread. The seeds of corruption were being sown. Deals were made in the dark, and the integrity of the institution was being compromised. These seeds would soon blossom into a scandal that would shake the very foundations of the institution. The world watched in shock as the truth came to light, and the once proud hospital faced its greatest challenge yet. The first cracks in the facade of the Karolinska project appeared slowly. What began as minor fissures soon became symbolic of deeper issues lurking beneath the surface. Construction delays began to plague the project. Workers found themselves idle. Machinery stood still. The once bustling site became eerily quiet. The initial timeline for completion stretched and buckled under the weight of unforeseen complications. Each delay added pressure to the already stressed project managers. They struggled to keep the project on track. Then came the whispers about the budget. Quiet conversations in hallways and behind closed doors hinted at financial troubles. Whispers quickly turned into a roar. Public meetings grew heated as the community demanded answers. The cost of the project soared, far exceeding initial estimates. Financial documents revealed a grim picture. Expenses were spiraling out of control. Alarm bells rang, but they were largely ignored. Officials offered reassurances, dismissing concerns as overblown. They downplayed the delays and cost overruns. They insisted these were common issues in projects of such magnitude. The public was urged to remain patient and trust the process. The public believed in the vision and in the integrity of the institutions involved. Community support remained strong, with many still hopeful for a positive outcome. However, beneath the surface, a darker truth was emerging. Investigative journalists began to dig deeper, uncovering unsettling details. The delays and budgetary issues were not merely a result of poor planning or unforeseen circumstances. There were more troubling factors at play. They were symptoms of a deeper infection, an infection of corruption that had begun to spread within the hospital's ranks. Corrupt officials were making decisions that benefited themselves rather than the project. Certain individuals seemed to be profiting from the chaos. Money exchanged hands in secret, and the project suffered as a result. And whispers of kickbacks and bribes began to circulate among those working on the project. The dream of a world-class hospital was turning into a nightmare of mismanagement and greed. The public's disappointment grew as the true extent of the issues became apparent. Investigative reports and media coverage brought the issues to light, sparking public outrage. The community demanded accountability and transparency. In response, reform efforts were initiated. New management was brought in to address the issues and rebuild trust with the community. Slowly, construction resumed with renewed vigor. The community, though wary, began to support the project once more, hopeful for a better future. Finally, the hospital was completed. It stood as a state-of-the-art facility, ready to serve the community. The journey had been fraught with challenges, but the vision had been realized. As the hospital project spiraled further out of control, a new and disturbing pattern emerged. Appointments to key positions within the hospital seemed to be based not on merit, but on connections. Qualified individuals were passed over in favor of those with ties to the project's leadership. The stench of corruption grew stronger with each passing day. The contracts awarded for the construction and outfitting of the new hospital raised eyebrows. Companies with little experience in such large-scale projects were winning bids, often at inflated prices. Their connections to those in power seemed to be their strongest qualification. The public, once so enthusiastic about the project, began to express their concerns. Journalists began to dig deeper, following the trail of money and influence that seemed to permeate every aspect of the hospital project. The hospital's leadership responded with denials and obfuscation. They attempted to discredit the whistleblowers and silence the critics, but the truth, like a malignant tumor, continued to grow. The Karolinska Hospital scandal was about to explode into the public consciousness, leaving an indelible stain on the institution and the nation. If the budget overruns and questionable contracts were tremors, the Macchiarini affair was the earthquake that shattered the illusion of integrity surrounding Karolinska. The institution, once revered as a beacon of medical excellence, found itself at the epicenter of a scandal that would forever tarnish its reputation. Paolo Macchiarini, a charismatic Italian surgeon, arrived at Karolinska with a halo of promise. His credentials were impeccable, and his charm was undeniable. He was seen as a savior, someone who could push the boundaries of medical science and bring hope to patients with no other options. He claimed to be a pioneer in regenerative medicine, boasting of groundbreaking techniques using synthetic tracheas. These synthetic tracheas were supposed to revolutionize the field, offering a lifeline to those suffering from severe tracheal diseases. His presentations at medical conferences were nothing short of mesmerizing, filled with promises of a brighter future. Macchiarini quickly rose to star status. He was not just a surgeon, he was a celebrity. Awards and accolades poured in, and the media couldn't get enough of him. Interviews, press conferences, and photo ops became a regular part of his life. He was lauded as a visionary, courted by the media, and showered with research funding. The financial backing he received was unprecedented, allowing him to continue his work without the usual constraints. His lab was a hub of activity, buzzing with the excitement of groundbreaking research. His surgeries, presented as revolutionary, were hailed as medical breakthroughs. Patients and their families placed their trust in him, believing that he held the key to their recovery. The operating rooms were scenes of high drama, with every procedure meticulously documented and celebrated. However, behind the facade of success, a horrifying truth was concealed. The surgeries that were supposed to save lives were, in fact, causing unimaginable suffering. The synthetic tracheas, once hailed as miracles, were failing at an alarming rate. Macchiarini's much-touted procedures were failing. Patients were dying. The very people who had placed their hopes in him were left devastated. Families grieved, and the hospital beds that were supposed to be filled with recovering patients were now empty. Whistleblowers within Karolinska, courageous doctors who witnessed the unfolding disaster, tried to raise concerns. Their warnings were ignored. These doctors, driven by a sense of duty and ethics, found themselves in a battle against a system that seemed more interested in protecting its own. Some were even silenced, their careers threatened. The culture of fear and intimidation was pervasive. Those who dared to speak out faced professional ostracism and personal attacks. The cost of truth was high, and many paid dearly for their integrity. Karolinska, it seemed, was more invested in protecting its star surgeon and its reputation than in the well-being of its patients. The administration's priorities were clear: maintain the facade at all costs. Patient safety took a back seat to prestige and financial gain. When the truth about Macchiarini's work finally came to light, it was devastating. The media, once his greatest ally, turned against him. Headlines screamed of scandal, and the public's trust in the medical institution was shattered. Investigations revealed a pattern of reckless experimentation, ethical violations, and a blatant disregard for patient safety. The findings were damning, painting a picture of a man who had let ambition and ego override his duty to do no harm. The scandal not only exposed the dark underbelly of Karolinska, but also sent shockwaves throughout the global scientific community. The implications were far-reaching, prompting a re-evaluation of ethical standards and practices in medical research worldwide. The Macchiarini affair became a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the consequences when the pursuit of glory overshadows the core principles of medicine. The fallout from the Macchiarini affair left Karolinska University Hospital struggling to reclaim its integrity. The institution that once stood as a paragon of medical innovation now found itself in the unenviable position of defending its very existence. The leadership was overhauled, and internal investigations led to sweeping reforms. Policies were rewritten to prioritize transparency, patient safety, and ethical research above all else. The revelations of systemic corruption and negligence forced Karolinska to confront its failures head-on. Public trust, once a cornerstone of its relationship with the community, was shattered. Rebuilding that trust was no simple task. It required not just promises, but demonstrated actions. New oversight committees were established, composed of independent experts tasked with ensuring that the mistakes of the past would not be repeated. Survivors of Macchiarini's failed procedures and their families became powerful advocates for change. Their voices carried weight as they spoke of their loss, demanding that future generations be spared from similar tragedies. The stories of these patients, once hidden behind closed doors, became symbols of the price paid when ambition eclipses humanity. In the wake of the scandal, Karolinska worked to implement safeguards and foster a culture where whistleblowers would be protected, not persecuted. The courage of the doctors who had raised alarms only to face intimidation was finally acknowledged. They were vindicated, and their example inspired others within the medical community to prioritize ethics over loyalty to institutions. Over time, the hospital began to heal. While the scars of the Macchiarini affair would never truly fade, they served as a constant reminder of the importance of vigilance, honesty, and compassion in the medical field. Karolinska's legacy, once tarnished, gradually found a path to redemption, not through its towering facilities or state-of-the-art equipment, but through an unwavering commitment to ethical care and the welfare of its patients. The lessons learned at Karolinska reached beyond Sweden, influencing hospitals and research institutions around the world to strengthen their own ethical frameworks. It was a hard-earned testament to the idea that true progress is measured not by accolades or innovation alone, but by the unwavering dedication to those who place their trust in the hands of medical professionals. If you found this story compelling, make sure to like and subscribe to 0 Hour Files. Join us as we continue to unravel the hidden truths behind history's most intriguing and complex mysteries.